After the hero, Sung Jinwoo, saved the world by single-handedly taking down the monarchs of darkness, the world remained in peace for many years. However, after discovering the death of their fellow brethren, absolute beings from outer worlds came to Earth to claim their brothers' remains. With the world's peace at risk again, Jinwoo set out into outer space to prevent the world's end. That was years ago, and now Jinwoo's son Sung Suho has grown up. After risking his life to save innocents, Suho broke the seal on his dormant powers and learned the truth about the war taking place. Now, with the help of Baru, one of his father's most trusted soldiers, Suho sets out to reclaim his prior strength, take down the followers of Itaram on Earth, and eventually join his father in the war against the outer gods. Previously on Solo Leveling Ragnarok, Suho continued his conversation with the Shadow of the World Tree, gaining more insight into the origins of the original Shadow Monarch, Ashborn. Although knowing the story of the rebellion of the rulers, what Suho didn't know was that when the Absolute Being stored a piece of primordial darkness within Ashborn, he unintentionally mended the light and darkness together. This created a fragment of Itaram, granting Ashborn unrivaled strength. This power was passed on to Jinwoo and eventually to his son, granting him a special power that even he doesn't know about. Now, after explaining to him his family history, the White Shadow awaits Suho's answer on which path he wishes to take. Outside the trials of succession, Serka and Amit await for their allies to claim the primordial darkness. Due to the powers of Serka, the newest king of snowfolks, monarch of nightmares, they have been able to capture the fleeing Nidhogg and trapped him within a case of ice. As she stared at the serpent, she remembered the amount of pressure Nidhogg used to give off before she became a monarch. Initially meeting the guardian of the World Tree, she couldn't help but be frozen in place due to its overwhelming presence. However, the tables have turned. Against such a being, the will or courage to fight it directly is meaningless. To complete the succession ceremony, the successor must undergo the trial they were presented with and be judged for their qualifications. Currently, there are 4 monarchs: Serka, Essel, the monarch of gluttony, Amit, the monarch of trials, and Thomas Andre, the monarch of conquest. Currently, Nidhogg was merely a warehouse still storing the remaining 3 primordial darknesses. Immediately after becoming a monarch, Amit used his powers to spread his Tower of Trials all over the world, and Suho led all his allies in a pursuit to capture Nidhogg. The purpose of this pursuit was to capture Nidhogg and secure the primordial darkness for Suho and the remaining successors. With the combined efforts of Amit and Serka, they captured Nidhogg. Brandishing his newly restored Kamish's Wrath daggers, Suho sliced off one of Nidhogg's heads, causing it to explode and scatter into pitch-black darkness in all directions. However, without a master to claim it, the darkness quickly returned to the serpent, causing another head to emerge. Witnessing this scene, Suho came to 2 conclusions. Either the head he sliced off did not possess the primordial darkness of Antares, or he still lacked the necessary prerequisites to take the succession trial. He quickly cut off the other heads to test his theory, but they all ended with the same result, returning to Nidhogg. Ultimately, it was a failure. Suho could not skip the succession ceremony and directly hunt Nidhogg to obtain the primordial darkness, but he did learn how to handle the masterless darkness. He asked Serka to encase the darkness in ice, freezing it in place. This request startled Essel. Essel, who was the monarch of gluttony, knew better than anyone how dangerous it was to eat even the frozen darkness. She warned Suho that even if he ate the iced primordial darkness, harboring more than one primordial darkness or consuming a primordial darkness without the proper qualifications was impossible. If forcibly frozen and eaten, the darkness would shatter the vessel it was placed in and force its way out back to Nidhogg. Suho reassured Essel that he had no intention of eating it, but he had an idea. Suho looked at Amut and noted that both Nidhogg and the Tower of Trials were very similar. They were both meant to test an individual's qualifications, pushing them to their utmost limits. Together, they sealed the primordial darkness within one of Amut's towers to patiently wait for a qualified individual. Eventually, a human claimed the darkness by finding the secret level within the tower. Thomas Andre, a human who overcame the trial he set for himself, defeated Ligia, the king of giants, and became the new monarch. Similar to how Suho acted as a guide and priest for the other monarchs, Amut too acted as Thomas's guide and helped him on his journey to become the monarch of conquest. A priest is very important in a successor's journey to becoming a monarch. Essel and Serka knew that better than anyone. If it weren't for Suho, they would have never been able to inherit their powers. Back then, they didn't know how weak they were. Looking back on it, they understood why Nidhogg did not hesitate to devour and kill them at first sight. They realized that becoming strong means understanding how weak you currently are. Now, having received her Frost Monarch powers, she couldn't kill Nidhogg, but she could confidently hold it captive in her ice prison. But then Serka noticed something. Within one of the heads of Nidhogg, something was moving. Currently, 2 individuals are taking the succession ceremony, Suho and Gray. But for some reason, the head containing Suho was slowly making its way towards the head containing Gray.